Welcome back to the Next Human Lab podcast. I'm Simon, and today we're not starting something new. We're arriving, not at an endpoint, but at a different way of being.
I think what stands out the most is not a single moment. It's the accumulation. Like, each episode didn't just give information, it shifted something small. The way I see things, the way I respond, the way I interpret situations.
Exactly, and that's what this episode is about. Not learning something new, but recognizing what you've already built and understanding how to live from it. Throughout this series, we didn't try to fix you. We didn't try to make you someone else. We simply helped you see what was already happening inside you. Pressure, triggers, approval, chaos, personalization, confidence, pain, trust, letting go. Each one was not a problem. It was a doorway.
And that awareness changed how everything feels, because you're no longer reacting automatically, you're choosing more. And that creates a sense of space.
Exactly. And in that space is where inner power lives. Let's start by clearing something important. Being unshakable does not mean you don't feel anything. It doesn't mean no stress, no emotion, no uncertainty. That's not real. What it means is this: you feel things, but you don't collapse under them.
So emotions still come, but they don't take over completely.
Exactly. You experience them without becoming them. Now here's a major shift. Most people outsource their stability. They rely on circumstances, other people, outcomes. But when you become unshakable, that changes. You stop needing everything outside to be stable, for you to feel stable.
So even when things are uncertain, you're still grounded.
Exactly. Because your stability is internal. Another shift is trust. Not theoretical trust, real-time trust. In moments of uncertainty, you don't freeze. You move, not perfectly, but steadily, because you trust that you can respond. Here's something subtle but powerful. You stop trying to control everything, not because you don't care, but because you understand something deeper. Control is limited, but presence is always available.
So instead of forcing outcomes, you focus on how you show up.
Exactly. And that creates a different kind of strength. This is the integration point. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. Not forced, not rigid, but aligned. And that alignment comes from everything you've learned. Let's bring this into everyday life. Imagine a moment where something doesn't go your way. Before, you might have reacted immediately. Now, there's a pause, not forced, natural. And in that pause, you have a choice. And that choice changes everything.
It's like you're not being pulled anymore. You're deciding.
Exactly. And that's what being unshakable looks like. Not controlling everything, but not being controlled by everything. There's also a quieter layer to this, a sense of ease. Not because life is easy, but because you're not fighting it as much. And that ease creates space. Space to think, space to feel, space to respond. And that space is where clarity lives. Let's bring everything together into something you can actually live. First, notice your new baseline. Ask yourself, how do I respond differently now compared to before? For example, I pause instead of reacting immediately. I question my thoughts instead of believing them instantly. I feel emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Second, anchor into yourself daily. Ask, what helps me feel grounded right now? Examples, taking a slow breath, stepping back before responding, reminding yourself, I can handle this. Do this consistently. Third, live one day from alignment. Choose one day, and instead of reacting, pause and choose your response. Examples, speak honestly instead of avoiding. Let go instead of holding on. Trust yourself instead of overthinking. That's how integration becomes reality. So today, you're not becoming unshakable. You're realizing you already are. Here's something to reflect on. What would my life look like if I trusted this version of myself fully? Sit with that, because that's where your next level begins.
I think what stayed with me is realizing that nothing outside needed to change first. I just needed to see things differently.
Yeah, inner power is not something you find. It's something you uncover. And once you do, you move differently. You feel differently. You live differently. Not because life became perfect, but because you became steady. And that is what it means to be unshakable. We'll see you in the next trip.